Alright, on the Audi, next thing I want to diagnose is why the blower motor for the HVAC system died. It worked for like a minute, a month ago, and now it's dead in the water. So, let's see. Fresh air fan control motor. It's grounded on one side, and then it's fed by a black and yellow wire. Where does that come from? It comes from the fresh air fan control unit. This is a power transistor. Again, it has power and ground, the feed to the blower, and this black and white control wire. It comes across and goes to our AC control head. The black and yellow also goes to the control head, so the controller knows what voltage is being applied to the blower. Pretty straightforward, right? So if the blower doesn't work, here's the control unit, or power transistor. So you should have power coming in here. You should have a ground on the brown. This goes to the blower motor, the power feed, and this is the control wire from the controller. So what's the easiest thing to do here? Well, I think we can just jump the power, or we'll check that, see if we have power on this pin with the key on. So that's an easy check. And then we can jump it straight through to the blower motor on this black and yellow to see if the blower motor turns on. If it does, then we'll chase the control side, or it might be this transistor is burned out. So let's do some checks. Alright, first check, test light connected to battery ground. Yes, it does light up, so we have power feed coming in. Now let's jump the two fat wires with the, you can use a fuse jumper, and see if the blower motor turns on. Alright, I got a fuse jumper and my amp clamp. Let's connect these. 29 amps. Holy crap. Blower motor's not spinning. Okay, so blower motor problem. So we don't want to do that for too long, because this thing, the controller, might also be fried. We can check. Just put this on there, this on there. Put our amp clamp on the wire going to the blower motor, and just turn on the HVAC and see if our amperage goes up. So let's do auto, low speed. Yep, we got 13 and 14 amps going through there. High speed, 25 amps. So quick diagnosis, blower motor is seized up, shot, whatever. So I'll quote the customer, we can at least take it apart, see if we can fix it, no parts required, otherwise it's going to need a blower motor. Next phase on this baby, blower motor. So remember, we already bypassed the heater hose. That's convenient, because to replace the blower motor that's seized up, it lives in here in this heater box. We have to remove the entire heater box. So the wipers are out of the way. Here's the replacement blower motor, and got the strap holding the box out of the way, and according to the service instructions, it's just like glued in here. So so I'm thinking is, once we get it unstuck, if I move it over this way, get it attached from this air intake, or outlet hose rather. See, that's the condenser over there. This is the blower motor. Well, regardless, it has to, I think it's coming up. That side's still stuck. Alright, so this is as far as this heater box is going to come up without major disassembly inside the car. Is all the ducts and stuff are connected to the bottom of this. It's honestly ridiculous just to replace the blower motor. So I got this pipe squeezed out of here. Now it looks like 3 screws that hold the plastic housing or whatever into the black housing. So let's not lose those screws. And the one on the bottom, I'm going to have to get the camera out of the way because it's right here and I don't want to mess it up. Just need a little more reach than that, I think. At least it's screwed into plastic, not metal. Get a little magnet here to catch it when it does come out. Woo, here it is. Alright, so you got 3 screws there. Oh my gosh. Alright, now we got a little working room. You can see the blower motor is basically completely seized. It's supposed to spin freely, and it doesn't. You might be able to free it up, but we got a new one, so. Here's the new one. So the motor, the plug is just back here, and the plug is held in by a circlip, so we have to get the circlip off and then push the motor that way. Alright, here it comes. If this doesn't clear, I'll be pissed. I think we got her. Yeah, that's a little water intrusion action there. Is that mouse poop? Oh yeah. So, yeah, we could refurbish this with some WD-40, but we might keep this as a spare. You can see it's all toasty in there because it was spinning against these seized bushings. So I was spinning the new blower motor. There's something in there. It looks like there's a washer inside of here that was supposed to be somewhere else. What the... How am I supposed to take this apart? Oh my word. This is crazy. It's right there. You can see it. Who's paying for this? Well, there's no way that washer's coming out. It's supposed to be a spring-loaded thingy that's supposed to be on the shaft of the motor. Well, magic pick to the rescue. I'm just going to fish that washer out and we're going to put this thing in without a thrust washer. Oh well. At least it's bendable. This is insane. Here it comes. Here it is. So, no parts required, huh? No more jingle. There's a little bit of thrust, but hey, if it spins and it works, I think it'll be okay. Alright, here we go, the brand new motor. I'm wondering if I should bench test it and see if it spins because, you know, can the assembly people be trusted? Let me just put 12 volts on here and see what happens. Alright, bench test. Positive's connected to the red. Turn on power supply. Hey, we're spinning. Now let's see, it's spinning this way, so it's going to force air into the middle. Alright, here we go. I'm just going to do it. Woo! 17 amps. Yeah, it's seizing more and more as it spins. I think that bearing's heating up and just smells good too. But which way did it turn? Let's see. Definitely that way. Okay, let's put the new motor in. Oh boy. So the new motor was not fitting into the housing. Why is that? Well, the old motor comes with this plastic cap that slides on and does not fit. What? Well, I'm measuring the outer diameter of the rotor, or of the motor, 73 millimeters on the old one, 76 millimeters on the new one. So what if I measure with the cap here? You might not need the cap. If you measure with the cap, you get the, I guess you get the 76. So I think this is just supposed to be shoved in there naked with no condom. Well, it's definitely fitting better, but it still needs some lube here. This is ridiculous. Those little rubber pieces there, the dampers, are still pretty tight, and we want to make sure that hole is aligned and the notch is aligned. Oh yeah, that's much better. Let's see if that went all the way through. Let's put some lube on the end ring right here. See if that slides it in. Alright, this is looking pretty nice. Lower motor spins free. Pushed it all the way through. The hole aligns, and the circlip is back on here. So what we gotta do now is reassemble everything, put on new heater hoses, flush this cooling system out. Yeah, this goes on here, and we'll be almost done under the hood. Alright, so before buttoning everything else back up, I got the blower plugged in. Let's make sure it works. Just turn the key on and hit low or econ. Oh yeah. Bi-level. So I don't know where it's gonna blow. Probably towards the feet, because the vacuum is released. So once we get it running, we'll check that, you know, the vents here work, the defrost, the foot vents, but blower is good to go. A little bonus footage. I was putting the ductwork back on the blower box, and check out what we have here. This is the original Motronic engine computer. It lives right here by the passenger's feet. It's amazing this thing still works, and it has a vacuum line going into the engine computer. Have you ever seen that before? Maybe a map sensor is built in. I swear this is the quirkiest car of all time. Never seen anything like it. Well, we're doing the first oil change in, I don't know how long this car is sitting, 10, 12 years. You can see this filter is mystery filter. It's completely rusted. You know, the oil color doesn't look too bad. Customer provided a man filter and Liqui Moly 5W40 motor oil. So let's change that out. Take this car on a few more test drives, see if we need to get that fuel pump out of the tank again. So the last remaining issues are fuel pressure problem, maybe. We'll take it for a test drive. The parking brake rear calipers are still sticky. If you apply the parking brake, it doesn't release all the way, so we have to take care of that. Rear washer doesn't work. Customer wants that fixed. And the cluster, you see the speedometer stuck at 20 miles per hour and the coolant needle doesn't move, so maybe it's just sticky needles. We'll have to take that apart, see what's going on there. But I want to take it for a spin, see how it drives, at least up and down the lane a couple times. If it's doing great, we'll take it out on the paved road and just see what the fuel pressure does. So let's see, start it up. It's a little on a cold start. It was better yesterday, but let's take it for a spin. Alright, here we go. I'm gonna depress the accelerator. Yep, confirmed. Fuel pump screen is clogged into the tank. It does drive better with a little fresh gas, but as soon as that pressure drops below 30, we're dead in the water. So we're gonna have to go in the tank again. I don't know how to clean this thing out. It doesn't have a drain plug. I really don't want to drop it. I'll talk to the customer, see if he wants to, what he wants to do. Alright, well, so far pretty stable. If I give it wide open throttle, the fuel pressure does start to drop, unfortunately. But medium throttle, it seems to be pretty happy. Look at this classy wooden knob. Come on, medium throttle. Yeah, we're definitely having issues here. So I'll give it a little boost. Oh, dropping to 25, starting to lose power. Speedometer is obviously not working very well. It drives so nice. So I'll just cruise for a little bit, put a few miles in this thing. It's already got 11 miles on it. See, it's trying about 40 psi. Yep. Very smooth riding car. And with proper fuel pressure, this is going to be a rocket ship. Made it back to the shop. Hey, this car is almost there. It's so close to being amazing. So a couple notes. Obviously, the fuel pressure is dropping off under boost. When it gets fun, falls on its face. Okay. Gauges. A couple gauges don't work. I did hear a wheel bearing hub sound, unfortunately. Making a left curve, a turn, probably the right front you know, when you put that under load, it makes some noise. So I'll tell it to the owner. I don't know where he's gonna find a replacement hub, bearing, whatever. It's probably like a 5-hour job on this. I would not be surprised. But otherwise, it's driving so sweet. So we're almost there. Hopefully we can iron these things out today, and the customer can pick it up and do whatever else needs perfecting on his own. And yeah, this is a sweet ride, I'm not gonna lie. Alright, rear washer pump. Here's the rear washer reservoir. There's the pump. So I got the wires disconnected. Just going to a test light. Let's see if the test light lights up. See if we have good power and ground when we enable the rear washer. So key on. So I just push the stock away from me, and you can see that. Yep. Power and ground verified. 5-minute diagnosis. This pump is mechanically stuck. We can try to get it out, blow it out, see if there's some crap in there. Fix this, no parts required. Otherwise, it's going to need a new rear washer pump. Good luck finding that. We got a brand new washer pump for the rear reservoir. Transfer the hose. Slap her in. We'll see if it sprays. At least the rear washer will be fixed. One more customer complaint resolved. Alright, let's see if it works. It was kind of spraying past the window. So I don't know if these things are adjustable, but washer pump works. So I adjusted the nozzles down a little bit. Check out this action. Very nice. Alright, cluster time. So this is a donor cluster that I'm just practicing on, seeing how everything comes apart. The screen, or the shield, is obviously half cracked there, but the needles here are supposed to move very freely and return to, you know, their home position. So I want to take that cluster apart out of the car. Let's see if we can get the speedometer moving. Maybe just needs a little squirt of WD-40 there on the little mechanism. And then the coolant gauge, I mean, we can clean this one up and swap it over if that one doesn't move, or we can get the old one moving. So let me tear the original cluster apart. Alright, so we got two coolant gauges. This is the original, this is the donor. As you can see, this one doesn't even go to C all the way. This one does. And with the variable power supply, I'm just going to increase the voltage to, let's say, 5 volts. And look, that needle is moving fine. It should stop somewhere in the middle, because that's what we saw on the thermo switch. That voltage stabilized around, 5 to 6 volts. So let's see if that needle is happy. It's approaching its happy spot there in the middle. Somewhere around there. Okay. Now let's crank the voltage up to maybe 6 or 7 volts. And we'll see if this is capable of showing hot. You want to check the full range of the gauge here. Let's see, 9 volts. See, it's starting to smoke. Oh, all the way to high. Okay, let's turn it down. Oh, hope we didn't break it. Will it come back? Oh no. Crap. So this gauge recovered, but the maximum it'll show is about there. So I don't know. This one isn't doing anything at all, even though we're at 6 volts. So this one's broken. This one works. We gotta clean it up, and the maximum is going to be right around there. I don't know why it doesn't go all the way to the H. But once we reach our operating temperature, we'll tell the owner where normal is, and if he gets above that, then that's a problem. Alright, next, speedometers. So original, I think it's getting better, but the return spring doesn't quite like to bring it back below 20 miles per hour. The replacement, solid, the needle is much freer to move, and the return spring works great. But the only problem is the mileages are different. I mean, this one has 33,000, this one has 112. So there's no real easy way to transfer the numbers over. I mean, it is analog. We want the speedometer to work. So I don't know if there's a way to get this mileage on this new speedometer for replacement. Or this one might start working. I mean, it's better than it used to be after the little WD-40 action, but if that return spring is compromised, the speed may not be accurate. We can reinstall it, take it for a spin, see how it works. If it's way off, install this one, figure out the mileage. By the way, I'm noticing someone's been here before, someone's messed with it, and for example, there's a little hole drilled right here to get to that screw, and this whole board is just loose. On the replacement, everything's tight, everything's original, no holes drilled, so I don't know what to say. Alright, so looking pretty good. Temperature gauge right about in the middle, fully warmed up. Speedometer is a little bit slow, but it works. You can't go too fast, otherwise I'm going to lose fuel pressure here, but when you slow down, it doesn't quite go to 0. Again, just a quirky feature. Let's put it that way. Yeah. Once we get the fuel pump issue figured out, we'll mess with the speedometer some more. I think it's going to be alright.